Good day, everyone. We are here to present our policy proposal entitled Inclusive and Contextual Language Instruction Framework, or ICLIF, which addresses one of the most pressing issues in the Philippine education today, the medium of instruction. Language is not only a tool for common communication, it is a gateway to understanding. In a multilingual country like the Philippines, the language used in classrooms significantly affects how learners comprehend lessons, especially in the early grades. In this presentation, we will discuss the existing policies, identify the gaps, and propose a policy that aims to make education more inclusive and effective for learners.
The Philippines is linguistically diverse with more than 180 languages spoken across the country. Because of this diversity, the language used in teaching has long been debated. Research shows that the learners understand concept better when instruction connects to the language they are familiar with. This is especially true for children in kindergarten to grade 3, where foundational literacy numeracy skills are developed. However, when learner struggles to understand the language of instructions, learning gaps may occur, affecting their long-term academic performance.
Hi, our group chose medium of instruction as our policy issue because it directly influences the comprehension, the participation, and the learning outcomes. Early grade learners are still developing the language skills, so if the medium of instruction is unfamiliar, learners may memorize without understanding or disengage from classroom activities altogether. Thus, addressing this issue is essential to improving the quality and inclusiveness of the basic education in the Philippines.
Several policies have shaped the medium of instruction in Philippine education. First, the Republic Act number 10533, also known as the Enhanced Basic Education Act, introduced mother tongue-based multilingual education or MTB-MLE as the primary medium of instruction from kindergarten to grade 3. However, in 2024, Republics Act number 12027 amended this policy by removing the mandatory use of mother tongue, Filipino, and English were reinstated as the primary languages of instruction. This change was further implemented through DepEd Order number 20, series of 2025, which allowed flexibility and encouraged the auxiliary use of regional languages.
Policies analysis are the strengths and the limitation. The current policies have several strengths. They promote bilingual competence in Filipino and English, which are important for national identity and global competitiveness. They also allow regional languages to be used as support. However, these policies also have limitation. Many learners still struggle because of Filipino or English. It's not their home language. Teachers also lack of sufficient training in multilingual instructions and learning materials in local language remain limited. As a result, linguistic diversity is acknowledged but not fully supported in practice.
And the main problem is that the current policies do not adequately ensure the comprehension for learners whose first language is neither Filipino nor English. So without the structured language support, learners may fall behind academically. Particularly in reading and understanding the basic concepts. So this gap is most evident in rural and linguistically diverse communities. And therefore, there is a need for a more contextual and inclusive policy that responds to actual classroom realities.
To address this gap, we propose the Inclusive and Contextual Language Instruction Framework, or ICLIF. This policy aims to balance national language goals while ensuring that learners are not left behind due to language barriers. ICLIF recognizes linguistic diversity as a strength rather than a challenge and provides a structured approach to language use in classrooms.
The goals of ICLIF are to improve early grade literacy and numeracy, ensure the inclusive and equitable education, enhance teacher competence in language instruction, and reduce language based learning barriers. By achieving these goals, the policy aims to create the learning environment where students can fully understand the lessons and actively participate in classroom activities.
The ICLIF or the ICLIF is anchored in four main strategies. The first is the language mapping, which identifies the learner's home languages at the school level. And the second is a tiered instructional model that guides how languages are used in teaching. And then the third one, we have the teacher training. It focuses on the multilingual pedagogy and the translanguaging strategies. And finally, it includes the development of contextualized learning materials in the selected local languages.
The tiered model consists of three levels. Tier 1 uses Filipino or English as the primary medium of instruction, and the Tier 2 allows learners' first language to be used as instructional support to clarify concepts. And the Tier 3 focuses on the gradual transition toward Filipino and English as learners gain proficiency. So, this model ensures that learners are supported without sacrificing the national language goals.
The implementation of ICLIF begins with conducting language surveys in school. Teachers will then undergo specialized training and multilingual learning materials will be developed. Pilot implementation will be conducted in linguistically diverse areas before the nationwide expansion. This phased approach ensures effective and manageable execution.
And the budget allocation. The estimated annual budget of ICLIF is 650 million pesos. Pesos. So this includes the funding for language mapping, the teacher and training, instructional materials, and monitoring and evaluation. Although the budget is substantial, it is an investment in improving learning outcomes and educational equity.
Monitoring and evaluation will be done through literacy and numeracy assessments, classroom observations, and teacher performance reviews. DeepEd will conduct annual evaluations to assess effectiveness and make necessary improvements. So this ensures accountability and also sustainability of the policy.
Justification and expected outcomes. The policy is necessary because language significantly affects learning. Studies shows that language supported instruction improves comprehension and learner engagement. Expected outcomes include improved reading skills, reduced learning gaps, higher participation rates, and more confident teachers. Ultimately, ICLIF promotes quality and inclusive education for all learners.
And in conclusion, the inclusive and the contextual language instruction framework responds to the realities of the Philippine classrooms. It respects linguistic diversity while strengthening the national language competence. By investing in language sensitive education, we invest in our learners' future.
Thank you so much for listening. We hope our proposal contributes to meaningful discussions on improving education in the Philippines. Bye!